Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be always checking your phone. Have you ever seen a guy, or you ever had a friend of yours, or maybe you yourself were waiting for someone to text you, someone you were dating, someone that you really were into, and you're constantly checking your phone every few seconds? Well, it's never a good way to go when you're doing things like that, because what happens is you've got an attachment. You've got an attachment to that certain someone calling you or contacting you or texting you or emailing you or messaging you in a period of time that you feel it needs to happen. And so you're attached to things happening the way you want and within a certain time frame. And when things don't happen like you expect them to happen, what happens? You get upset and you suffer, basically. It's just not a good way to go. And plus, when you become fearful that things aren't going to work out for you. That's when you get stuck in the illusion of action, and you're always trying to do something in order to create attraction, or you're trying to do something to make something happen, and it always ends up backfiring and sending you back the other way. Got an email here from a viewer, and he says, "Hi, Corey. I just wanted to say, after watching your videos, which are absolutely superb, by the way, and countless amounts of time and always referring back to your book, I find that the main underlying theme is that guys have no or very little emotional self-control. They just cannot control themselves. It's amazing, and as you say, they bullshit themselves and believe that they are in control." So true. A friend of mine who has just started seeing this girl panics if she doesn't text him for a day or two. Now, I've said before, sometimes, not all women, but some women will purposely wait to text a guy, especially like when they first meet him, just to see how he's going to react. Because guys who don't have any emotional self-control, guys who are basically needy and insecure, deep down they've got a belief that just makes them feel like they don't deserve to have what they really want. And so therefore they act in ways that in essence bring that about, and they communicate in everything they do and they say, their body language, their physiology, the tone of their voice that communicates, "I don't deserve you." And when a woman interacts with these guys long enough, whether through text or on one date or when they meet them, they right away can usually pick up on the fact, just like the guys don't trust that the girl means what she says, they don't trust that she's going to do what she says. And 9 times out of 10, because I used to do the same thing when I was younger and insecure, is you end up doing or saying something that communicates that you don't feel worthy. And if a girl, like on a scale of 1 to 10, and like a 5 being like her minimum, in other words, if a girl looks at you and thinks on a scale of 1 to 10 you're at least a 5 in her book, then you got a chance. Now, some women you're going to meet, or I would say the average woman's going to probably is going to assume, it's going to place you in like the 5 to 6. So on a scale of 1 to 10, she's going to be like, he's a 5 or 6. In other words, he's kind of cute. I'd go out with him. And so when you meet women like that and their interest is, you're like kind of just barely holding on, you've just barely got a chance, you can't do too many things wrong before they just dismiss you and just think, he's not worth it. But if a woman on a scale of 1 to 10 perceives you as a 7 or an 8 or even a 9, then there's a lot more things you can do wrong. There's a lot more mistakes that you can make, come off as being needy or insecure or whatever, that she'll let it slide, and it'll still turn her off, but it's still got a ways to go to where she gets to the point where she just disqualifies you from being a potential mate or lover or boyfriend altogether, and then she rejects you. So he says this friend of his is always checking his phone. He says, "I went out with him the other night, and he was constantly looking at his phone, and yet he tells me he has his emotional side under control. I thought to myself, bullshit, you are bullshitting yourself, because she didn't text him, and he kept looking to see if she liked any of his Facebook posts." Yeah, this guy's all completely hung up on this girl. And so the danger when you're in this state is that you're basically trying to go along with whatever she wants because you're trying not to upset her. Because in a way, you feel like, I better do everything perfect because this girl doesn't like me. And so what happens is this guy ends up going along with everything that she wants, even to the point where he starts changing his opinion to match hers. And when you do that, then you're basically acting like a submissive woman, and it won't be too long before she picks up on the fact that you're acting like a pleaser, that you're just trying to go along with whatever she wants, trying not to upset her because you think that that's going to get in the way of you and her getting together later and you seducing her. And it totally works against you, because if she starts to pick up on the fact that you're changing your opinion to match hers and that you're just basically waiting on her beck and call, then she's not going to perceive you as really being that much of a catch. Because if a guy's really successful with women, he's busy, he's got shit going on, he's not sitting around waiting on one particular woman. So he says it's ironic because you have an excellent newsletter on emotional self-control, and your words are, "This is fucking huge," yet I don't think it sinks in on most of your viewers. Yeah, it's tough. And like I talk about this all the time, and I'm sure if you've been following my newsletter for a while, you see this. Guys will be great with girls that they're not really that into, and that's why I say it's so important to date a lot of women and to practice these techniques with a lot of different women, because you can see how well they work. Because when you meet a girl and she fucking knocks your socks off, and you really want her bad, and you're on a date with her, or you're spending time with her, and you really want things to go well, it's really fucking hard to continue to stand up for yourself and to not go along with things that you don't want to go along with, because you're afraid of losing this person, because you realize it's not every day that you meet somebody that you feel this way about. And that's why I talk about repetition is the mother of skill. Practice, practice, practice. So when you practice this stuff enough with the women that you're meeting, I mean, you might meet a girl and fall totally head over heels in love with her over time, but it's a rare woman that you meet and you just connect on every level. It's more than just a physical type of attraction or something that just really draws you in to that particular woman. And it's like when things go sideways with those girls and you end up getting rejected or you blow it or whatever, those sting the most. Those hurt the most. And so by preparing yourself ahead of time, by practicing this stuff, you can prevent yourself from getting in the situation like this guy's buddy is in. And it's going to be very hard for him to do things right. Number one, he's not even reading my stuff or following it. And number two, he's making all kinds of little mistakes here, and it's going to pretty much lead to him getting rejected with this girl. So he says, especially the guys that write to you frequently, as you say this stuff is easy, it's just focus on having a good fucking time and fuck the rest. I mean, really, that's all you need to do is focus on creating a fun-filled romantic opportunity for sex to happen, and the rest will take care of itself. He says, but guys, they analyze everything. As an example, my mate, my coworker, wonders why that she hasn't logged out of Skype once she has finished talking to him. It's ridiculous. He says, once again, Corey, thanks for sharing your brilliant work and patience. Yeah, it's like they hang on everything. They're looking for any little piece of evidence that supports, oh, she likes me, she cares about me, she's really into me, I got a chance. And so like they're always coming from a place of, I'm not good enough. And when you come from a place where you basically think, I'm not good enough, she won't love me, I don't have what it takes to get her or seduce her or to be enough of a man to where she'd actually want to be with me in a relationship, it's very hard, because if you're feeling that inside and you're not prepared and you haven't practiced enough, then you can't help but let those things slip out. And those little things that slip out are what cause the relationship to go south and you to get rejected, which is not a lot of fun. So if you have a question that you want to ask me, go to my website, click the Contact Me tab, which will be on the left-hand side of your screen, and send me 1 to 2 paragraphs max detailing me your questions, and just give me several days to get back to you with a response. If you want to talk to me right away, the quickest way to get my help is to book a paid phone coaching session. You can do that by going to my website, click the Products tab, which will be at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions. If you want to get a digital version of my Kindle ebook, on my website, underneath the email sign-up box, will be a box that has a link that will take you right to the download page for my book once you get there. If you don't have a Kindle device already, you can download one of their free e-reader apps for your smartphone, tablet device, or your computer. There's a button on the right-hand side. You can do that. It only takes a matter of seconds to download and install the app and complete the purchase of my book. And if you appreciate the value of the information I offer in these video newsletters and articles, you can show your appreciation by going to my website. And on the Wibbia toolbar, which will be at the bottom of your screen, click the PayPal donate button and donate any amount that you feel is equal to the value of the information. And I will talk to you soon.